Writing a play about the Aztecs bores me so much I can hardly stand it. You're supposed to write a play about the Aztecs? Lucky you! My next essay for Ms. Bunda is how science has changed our lives. I hate science essays. Jane, remember last year when I built that model wind tower for you and you wrote those poems for me? And you said you'd never switch homework assignments with me again. For good reason. My teacher had a hard time believing I wrote, "Tra-la, the joy of tulips blooming, ha-ha, the thrill of bumblebees zooming. I'm alive and I dance, I'm alive though death is always looming." When I finally convinced her that I had, she asked me if I need to talk to the school counselor. Anyway, maybe I shouldn't have said I'd never switch with you again. I'm truly interested in the Aztecs. And I'm truly interested in writing a science essay about how science has changed our lives. I could write a dozen of them without blinking. But can you write a play without any tra-las or ha-has? Of course. Then have at it. Sky and Jane are not just sisters, but close friends. Sky is a skeptical scientist, and Jane is an expressive writer. Unfortunately, Jane is assigned Sky's dream homework, and Sky is assigned Jane's dream homework. So, they switch assignments, not knowing how much trouble they're about to get into. We all are tempted to tell little white lies. How much can they hurt? But as we see from Sky and Jane's story, a little lie always turns into a huge mess. The Penderwicks on Garden Street by Jeanne Birdsall.
Jane, Miss Bunda is happy with a science essay you've written. About antibiotics, I believe?
I think so. I mean, yes, of course. It was about antibiotics.
Sky, I saw Mr. Cabal, too. He's quite impressed with the play you wrote about the Aztecs. Apparently, it shows a great deal of imagination and flair. He's so pleased, in fact, that he's chosen it to be the play for this year's 6th grade performance night.
What? Wow! They've never used a student's play before. Why this year of all years?
Mr. Cabal thought you'd be pleased. Aren't you?
It puts a lot of pressure on me. Jane, you have to talk. What's wrong? My teacher assigned parts in your play today. Guess who's going to be Rainbow? Kelsey? Isabel? Maya? No, Jane. Think awful. Really awful. Don't tell me Melissa Patino got the starring part. No, she's going to be Grassflower. Oh, that's okay, I guess, since Grassflower's kind of a jerk, though I'd rather have Melissa never utter any words of mine. Well, who then? Me. But you're terrified of being on stage. Did you explain to Mr. Cabal? I tried, but he thought I was just being shy about being in a play I wrote. I couldn't explain to him that I didn't care about that, since you wrote it. It won't be that bad, Sky. I'll help you memorize your lines. How many people will be in the audience for the 6th grade performance night? Since all the 6th graders will be involved one way or another, all their families will come. Which means, well, 26 students in each of the 4 6th grade classes, at least 3 family members came for each student, plus all the teachers, plus various 5th graders. 400 people. At least 400 people will watch me make a fool out of myself. 400. I hadn't realized how many people would see my play performed. It's intoxicating. It's nauseating. Sky, I'm sure you know your part by now. Grr. Come on, let's go back to where Rainbow tells Grassflower she's going to take her place as the sacrificial victim. Grassflower says, I cannot let you give your life for me. And then you shed a tear and say, I don't want to say it. Oh, Jane. What good is my life now that I know? Go ahead, you can do it. What good is my stupid life now that I know stupid Coyote loves you, even stupider Grassflower? Look! The programs! Sisters in Sacrifice, an original play by Skye Penderwick. Jane! They put my name right there as the author. Of course they put your name as the author. What did you think? I didn't think. Deceit upon deceit, Jane. Deceit multiplied by the number of people who read this program. How much deceit does that make altogether? My honor will be in the negative numbers. Do you want me to cross out Skye in all the programs? I could change it to Miss, an original play by Miss Penderwick. That works, right? Even for you, Jane, that's a stupid idea. I'm sorry. It's not your fault. It's my fault. If I'd done my own homework, I wouldn't be in this mess. Swear we'll never switch homework assignments again. Swear. Try to get a hold of yourself. Maybe you'll feel better once you get to the dressing room and put on your makeup. The dressing room! Listen to me. I'll act in this play, which will possibly ruin my life, but I will not put on a costume and makeup in the same room as Melissa Patinode. I'll do it in the bathroom instead. Go tell Mr. Cabal where I am, okay? I don't know if I should leave you alone, Skye. You look a little weird. Of course I look weird. I'm close to a nervous breakdown. Now go! Yes, Grassflower, though I wish we did not have to rush into marriage. Perhaps someday in the future girls will be allowed to stay single for many more years or even forevermore without social opprobrium. However, since that day is not yet nigh, I am glad that I have found a boy to love more than I will be happy in marriage. Okay, I think I remember the rest of that scene. What's the line I have so much trouble with later? The one about innocent blood? For I will spill my maize. No, I will spill my blood to bring the maize. No, the rain. For I will spill my blood to...
Martin, there's been a bit of a problem. Yes, Mr. Cabal? Is it Skye? Jane?
It's Skye. Unfortunately, she fainted while putting on her makeup.
Fainted? Is she alright?
She's recovering, but is in no shape for acting tonight.
Poor girl, I'll go see her. But what about the play? Who's going to be Rainbow?
We're still working on that, but I believe we found a substitute. Wish us luck. From the moment Jane found Skye crumpled on the bathroom floor to when she looked into the mirror and saw Rainbow looking back at her was one long blur of activity. This was one of the most exciting things that had ever happened to her, Jane. Then, all at once, she was on the stage behind the curtain with Melissa. Melissa, break a leg. Break your own leg. You'd better not mess up. Never fear, Grassflower. I cannot fail, for my whole life has led me to this hour. Oh, be quiet. Then the curtain was up, and Jane turned to the audience, deliriously happy. They were all there, all wondrous 400 of them, ready to love her as much as she loved them. And she gave them her best. From her first line, Jane was a rainbow to end all rainbows. Through her brave switch with Grassflower, her long march to the sacrificial table, her dramatic rescue by the lightning, and all the way to the end of the play. The applause was intoxicating. Skye, are you all right? Have you stopped fainting? Did you get to see the play? I saw most of it from the wings, and you were terrific, Jane. But come on, let's get out of here. If only Mr. Cabal had been a little suspicious of us, or if I didn't care what he thought of me, or if I weren't such a bonehead. Jane, we're the biggest frauds in the universe. Not the universe. Well, the solar system, then. I need to tell Daddy that I didn't write Sisters in Sacrifice. I'll confess to Mr. Cabal, too. I can leave you out of it. I'll say I stole the play from a book. That will be another lie. Don't leave me out of it. After all, you wrote my science essay about antibiotics. So Skye and Jane came clean. They took no shortcuts, telling the whole story from beginning to end, leaving out no shameful detail, no evasion, no careless fib. Daddy, can you forgive us?
Of course I can.